Hello YouTubers, it's Adrian here, and today I got a treat for you. I got a standard deck brew that I'll be running this Friday. The deck is a Red X Win aggro deck, and it's pretty sweet. I mean, it's one of the cheapest decks I built, estimated around $33, $34, and it runs pretty well, I think. I ran this deck last week with a different deck. I changed. There's like 5 cards I changed from last week, but the deck went 2-2 last Friday, and I could. It's top 8. It's what do you call it? It has potential to be top 8. I mean, last week I could have made it if I played my last game right, but I kind of made some few mistakes and it cost me. But yeah, this deck is pretty sweet. Like again, it's cheap and it's really effective. Anything else? No, I got nothing else. But yeah, let's jump into this. These cards over here they don't have sleeves for a reason. There's stuff that I'll probably be taking out for changing something. But this is the cards I ran last week. I ran 3 Rackdos Cacklers and 1 of Vexing Devil. If you don't know what these are, the Rackdos Cacklers, you can have it pay. It's 1 black or 1 red. And it comes in the battlefield. You can have the option to unleash it, and what unleash does is it gives it a +1/+1 counter. So instead of a 1/1 for 1, it'll be a 2/2 for 1. But the only bad thing is it can't block. But I guess that initiates you to be the aggressor. What Vexing Double is, it's a 1 red 4/3. You can pay 4 life to get rid of it. So let's say you play it turn 1. Your opponent has the option to pay 4 life, or it sticks on the battlefield. And to me, that's pretty sweet. It's like a lightning bolt, except better, but it can't target creatures. So, that's one of the reasons why I ran 1 of. But that's just because I, I borrowed it from a friend. Onto our other 1-drops, we have a Stromkirk Noble. Reason why this one is in here is when it attacks, it can't be blocked by a human creature. And most decks usually run a mana dork, which 1/1, what do you call it? What's that green dude? I'm trying to remember. I don't know, but it taps for white and it's a human, so this guy can go in unscathed and it gets a +1/+1 counter every time it hits the opponent, so it'll be a 2/2 once it attacks. Our 2-drop creature is Ash Zealot. The reason why this guy's in here is because it has first strike, and as soon as it hits the field, you can attack immediately, which is pretty cool. A 2/2 for 2 red, and its ability is whenever people flashback a card, they take 3 to the face. And most decks usually have flashbacks, so it's really good burn. Onto our 3-drop, we have our playset of Chandra's Phoenixes. It's a 2/2 for 2 red and 1 colorless. It has flying and it has haste, so it can also attack on the first turn it's played. And the reason why I put this one in here is because most of our deck has a lot of burn spells. So whenever Chandra's Phoenix dies, it can be possibly brought back from the graveyard to your hand, as it says right here. Whenever an opponent is dealt damage by a red instant or sorcery spell you control, or by a red planeswalker you control, you can return Chandra's Phoenix from your graveyard to your hand. So that's what I really like about that. And our final creature we have in the deck is a 3 of Hellrider. It's a 3/3 for 2 red and 2 colorless. Has haste, and whenever a creature you control attacks, Hellrider deals 1 damage to defending player. The reason why I like this card is once you play it, it has haste, so you can swing automatically. If you have, let's say, a couple of Ash Zealots and Chandra's Phoenix, I mean, you're going to be dealing lots of damage just by the trigger from Hellrider, which is pretty cool. Onto our red spells, we have 2 Pillar of Flames. What Pillar of Flame does is 1 red and deals 2 damage to target creature or player. If a creature dealt damage this way would die, it's exiled instead, so that's pretty cool. And I was thinking about taking these out for something else. I'm not sure. I don't like how it's sorcery speed. That's the only thing. But it's still a solid card. Onto our other 1-drop spell, we have Shock. It's an instant card. Shock deals 2 damage to target creature or player, which is pretty legit. Onto our 2-drop spells, we have a Searing Spear. Searing Spear does 3 damage to target creature or player. This can get rid of what do you call it? Vampire Nighthawks, Centaur Healer, stuff like that. And one of the most controversy cards people tell me I should run sideboard, Skullcrack. What Skullcrack does is 1 red, 1 colorless. Players can't gain life this turn. Damage can't be prevented this turn. Skullcrack deals 3 damage to target player. And most people think I should run this sideboard, but I really think it should be mainboarded because, you know, most decks usually has a way of life gain. Like control decks have Sphinxes of Revelations, and green-white decks or green aggro decks have a what's that? Rackdos, which once it enters the battlefield, you gain 5 life. What this does is it prevents that life, and you hit them for 3. So I think it should be mainboarded, and just because a lot of decks run a lot of life gain. So yeah. On our last spell cards, we have a Brimstone Volley, 1 red, 1 and 2 colorless. What it does is Brimstone Volley does 3 damage to target creature or player, but the main bad boy of this card is Morbid Trigger. Brimstone Volley deals 5 damage to that creature or player if a creature died this turn. So let's say one of your creatures, you know, is blocked and it dies. You can tap 3 and deal 5 to the face, which is pretty legit. And our land base, we just run 22 basic solid. Basic mountains, my bad. So yeah, that's the deck brew. Like I said, this deck is pretty legit. One of the main problems I had with this though is the mana, or not the mana, getting Hellrider to stick, because most decks usually don't want to deal with it, so they'll just, you know, kill it off the bat. But you know, that's what you want. I mean, you want to have them get rid of all their, you know, all their reactive spells and whatnot. And it's really good. I mean, you can just be the aggressor all game, force them to be backed up against the wall and whatnot. And that's what I like about this deck. One of the changes I've thought about making though was these 3. I was either gonna put the new what do you call it? I was probably gonna put 4 of in this, but 4 of and take this out, put 1 more in, or put the new Pyromancer Mage do, which shoots a 1/1 every time you play a red instant or sorcery spell, I believe. Young Pyromancer, that's it. Because it really would work well with the Hellrider, and I mean, it would what do you call it? Shoot out blockers, which would help Brimstone Volley if, you know, they die and whatnot. But yeah, that's one of the only changes I'll probably make to this deck. But other than that, it's pretty solid. It's cheap, like I said. It's around $33. Most of this stuff is like only $1 or $2 or whatnot. But yeah, that's my little deck brew. I'll be running this Friday. If you enjoyed it, give me a like, subscribe, and whatnot. And check out my other trade binder video. Have a nice day, guys. Later.